Good evening, viewers. This is GeoEnergy Info, and I'm Maxim Radaykin. Today we're joined by Alexander Frolov to discuss developments in international energy markets. Let's examine a recent Politico report. France, Germany, and Italy are reportedly looking to reduce their American LNG purchases. But is this really the mutiny some suggest? Is Europe refusing to correct its trade balance with the United States? First, let's address a misinterpretation of the Politico article. Some suggest Trump is demanding $350 billion in energy purchases, while Europe plans to cut American LNG imports as revenge for trade disputes. However, the actual article tells a different story. The $350 billion figure represents the trade deficit between the US and Europe, which could be addressed by increasing European energy imports from the United States. A crucial misunderstanding occurs when people interpret energy resources specifically as LNG, which is incorrect. Energy resources include oil, petroleum products, various fuels, and LNG is just one component. Europe couldn't absorb $350 billion worth of just LNG. The infrastructure and demand isn't there. European countries are making practical market-based decisions. Norway remains Europe's primary natural gas supplier, providing reliable pipeline gas at competitive prices. The European energy strategy isn't about political standoffs. It's about pragmatic choices in a complex global market. The article focuses on how European consumers are looking to reduce energy consumption rather than simply purchasing more LNG. This is particularly relevant given current market conditions and the broader energy transition. This isn't about Europe snubbing American energy exports. It's about market realities, infrastructure capabilities, and long-term energy security strategies that involve multiple suppliers and sources. Breaking news from the European energy markets reveals a significant shift in fuel consumption patterns that many Americans might find surprising. While media attention focuses on LNG exports to Europe, a deeper story emerges about the complex energy trade relationship between the United States and European nations. The common misconception is that America only exports LNG to Europe, but that's far from the complete picture, explains energy analyst John Davidson. The United States has become a major supplier of diesel fuel to European markets, filling a gap left by previous suppliers. This development marks a significant change in the European energy landscape. For years, Russia dominated the diesel fuel market in Europe, supplying approximately 10% of total European demand. The quality of American diesel fuel has improved dramatically, making it a competitive alternative in European markets. What's particularly interesting is how Europe's fuel preferences are evolving, notes market specialist Sarah Bennett. While Europe has traditionally been diesel-dependent, we're witnessing a gradual shift toward gasoline vehicles. This transition, known as gasification, is occurring both openly and subtly across European markets. The shift gained momentum following the diesel emissions scandal, commonly known as dieselgate, which shook consumer confidence in diesel vehicles. The story highlights how European consumers, who once favored diesel engines, are increasingly considering gasoline alternatives. This trend has significant implications for U.S. energy exports and transatlantic trade relations. Industry experts emphasize that European fuel quality standards are among the highest globally, and American products now meet these requirements. This development challenges perceptions about fuel quality in international markets. The energy trade between the U.S. and Europe is multifaceted, concludes Davidson. It's not just about natural gas. It's about a complex web of petroleum products that shape our economic relationship. Here's a 1875-character news piece based on the provided content. In a significant shift in European automotive markets, we're seeing interesting developments following the Volkswagen emissions scandal. Our analysis reveals how this controversy has reshaped fuel consumption patterns across the European Union. Today, we're examining how the famous dieselgate scandal has influenced European car buyers' preferences and fuel consumption patterns. While diesel vehicles haven't disappeared from European roads, there's been a notable slowdown in diesel vehicle sales growth. This trend represents a crucial shift in the European automotive landscape. What's particularly fascinating is the concept of hidden gasification in the European market. This phenomenon isn't immediately apparent in standard statistics, but becomes clear when we analyze hybrid vehicle categories. Both standard hybrids and plug-in hybrids are essentially gasoline-powered vehicles, though they're often categorized separately in European statistics. Looking at current market data, gasoline-powered vehicles, including hybrids, now represent approximately two-thirds of total vehicle sales in the European Union. This is a remarkable shift from the diesel-dominated era. However, it's crucial to note that Europe remains significantly dieselized compared to other regions, necessitating continued diesel fuel imports from various sources, including the United States. This brings us to former President Trump's statement about a $350 billion energy purchase proposal. When examining this claim in context, we must understand that it encompasses various energy products, not just liquefied natural gas as some might assume. The diesel import requirements play a significant role in this energy trade dynamic. The European automotive market continues to evolve, with gasoline vehicles, including various hybrid technologies, gaining prominence. Yet, the region's substantial diesel fleet ensures ongoing demand for diesel fuel imports, maintaining complex international energy trade relationships, particularly with the United States. In today's breaking news analysis, we're examining a significant development in international trade relations causing a stir among economic experts. Former President Trump's statement about a $350 billion energy trade proposal has raised eyebrows across the global financial community. Trump's comments about European purchases of American liquefied natural gas, LNG, worth $350 billion were made during a media briefing. These weren't official policy demands, but impromptu responses to reporters' questions. The astronomical figure has left many analysts questioning its feasibility. Germany, Europe's largest economy, has reached a milestone with the United States surpassing China as its primary trading partner, marking a shift in global trade dynamics. While Germany maintains a negative trade balance with China, the relationship with the U.S. presents different characteristics. The energy market in Europe is complex. European nations are diversifying their energy sources, with Norway emerging as a key natural gas supplier. France and Germany are reviewing their energy strategies, focusing on reducing consumption rather than increasing imports. Industry experts note that the $350 billion figure is extraordinarily large compared to current LNG trade volumes. European energy policy decisions are driven by market conditions, environmental commitments, and supply security needs. Europe's energy strategy involves balancing various sources, including renewable energy expansion, affecting their approach to LNG imports. The continent's energy decisions are increasingly influenced by environmental considerations and sustainable alternatives. For market implications, informal statements, even from high-ranking officials, don't necessarily translate into binding agreements or policy changes. The European Union maintains autonomy in making energy procurement decisions based on member states' interests and market realities. In a significant shift in global energy markets, European nations are pushing back against expectations to increase American LNG imports, revealing complex dynamics in international trade relations. Recent reports from Politico highlight a development that contradicts previous narratives about U.S. energy dominance in European markets. European energy officials have disclosed that underground storage facilities have withdrawn nearly 70 billion cubic meters of gas, and they're discussing strategies to reduce storage injection targets. Their goal is to lower summer storage requirements from 70 to potentially 50 billion cubic meters to help moderate prices. This revelation comes as former President Trump's administration had claimed success in forcing European nations, especially Germany, to purchase more American LNG. However, the reality appears more nuanced. The positive trade balance between Europe and the United States isn't due to energy strong-arming, but rather a natural market reorientation and elevated energy prices. The trade dynamics with China offer a contrast. While Europe maintains a positive trade balance with the United States, the opposite holds true for their Chinese trade relationship. This complex web of international commerce highlights how narratives about forcing nations to buy specific energy products often miss the mark. March saw record-breaking American LNG imports to Europe, but this wasn't due to European enthusiasm for U.S. gas. It was partially influenced by Chinese tariffs on American LNG, which redirected shipments to European markets. This situation mirrors events from 2019, showing how global trade tensions can reshape energy flows. European consumers and energy strategists are now focused on reducing consumption rather than increasing imports. This approach reflects a sophisticated understanding of energy security and market dynamics, moving beyond supply-demand calculations to consider storage optimization and price stability. Here's a 1875 character news piece based on the input. Breaking news from the European energy markets. A significant shift is occurring in how European nations approach their energy procurement strategies. Today's report focuses on the complex relationship between American LNG exports and European gas storage policies. European leaders are sending a clear message to Washington regarding liquefied natural gas imports. While they've substantially increased their LNG purchases from the United States, now accounting for over half of their total LNG imports, they're facing a practical ceiling on how much more they can buy. "We simply cannot physically accommodate more volume than we currently purchase," stated a senior European energy official. This isn't about rejecting American LNG, it's about market realities. The core issue centers around Europe's gas storage facilities. Following the dramatic events of 2022, when prices skyrocketed to an astronomical $3,600 per thousand cubic meters due to aggressive storage filling policies, European nations are reconsidering their approach. The previous mandate to fill storage facilities to 90% is now under scrutiny. "We need to be smarter about our storage strategies," explained an EU energy analyst. Blindly following rigid storage requirements drove prices to unsustainable levels. "We're now looking at more flexible approaches." Norway remains Europe's primary gas supplier, with American LNG playing a significant but limited role. European officials emphasize that their ability to purchase additional energy resources, whether LNG or oil products, is constrained by actual demand and storage capacity, not political will. This situation presents a challenge to previous statements by former President Trump about closing a $350 billion trade deficit through increased energy exports. The reality is that European markets can only absorb what they practically need and can store. As winter approaches, European energy strategists are advocating for revised storage requirements that better reflect market conditions and prevent artificial price inflation. This pragmatic approach aims to balance energy security with economic sustainability. In a significant shift in global energy dynamics, European Union nations are actively working to reduce their dependence on American energy imports, challenging former President Trump's goal of closing a $350 billion trade deficit through increased energy sales. Industry experts point out a misconception in forcing increased energy purchases. As one analyst explains, "You can't compel markets to buy what they don't need. European economies are looking to reduce their overall energy consumption, not increase it." The situation is complex in the oil sector. While the United States exports petroleum products, it remains a net importer of crude oil, limiting its ability to increase exports. The European automotive market crisis continues to suppress demand for petroleum products, with no recovery expected. A key economic principle comes into play. Redirecting existing energy supplies doesn't improve trade balances. If European buyers purchase American energy products that would have gone to other markets, it simply shifts the trade deficit to different trading partners. The situation in European energy markets is complicated by transitions in consumption patterns. Many EU nations are pursuing energy efficiency measures and alternative sources, particularly due to recent geopolitical events involving the northern Black Sea region, and evolving relationships with traditional suppliers like Norway. Market analysts suggest that forced increase in energy trades between the US and EU would be artificial and counterproductive. European companies, including those transporting American LNG, are looking to optimize costs and reduce expenditures, rather than increase import volumes. These developments reflect a broader trend in international energy markets, where simple solutions to trade imbalances prove elusive. The reality of energy trading extends beyond political declarations, rooted in market fundamentals and regional economic conditions. Good evening, viewers. Tonight's broadcast brings you crucial insights from our Energy Markets Special Report. Let's highlight key takeaways that affect your energy bills and national security. Major European powers, including France and Germany, are repositioning their energy procurement policies. This shift comes as the United States pushes for increased LNG exports to Europe, against the backdrop of a $350 billion trade deficit, highlighted by former President Trump. Our expert panel has examined how European consumers are reducing energy consumption rather than seeking additional LNG imports. This trend signals a transformation in global energy markets, with Norway emerging as Europe's preferred natural gas supplier. For viewers interested in these developing stories, We've established several channels to keep you informed. Our platform, GeoEnergy Info, provides daily updates on these developments. Alexander Frolov's channel offers in-depth analysis of energy market trends. We've also investigated claims about a revolutionary nuclear battery technology. Our expert, Boris Leonidovich, has provided analysis debunking some sensational claims. While the technology shows promise, it's not the game changer some claim. His complete analysis is available on our website. For those who value our independent, unmonetized coverage, support options are provided in the description below. Your contributions help maintain our commitment to unbiased reporting. We thank today's expert contributors and you, our dedicated viewers, who trust us for accurate energy market coverage. Visit our website for the full technical breakdown of the nuclear battery story and other emerging technologies. For continued updates, follow our oil and gas game channel and infotech channel. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in our next broadcast.